the coaches and players from the area about everything winter sports. The Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show is brought to you by Buckeye Stoves, Page One Group, Papa John's, and of course, our title sponsor, Griffin Insurance. Now join us in the WMVO studio live on air and streaming with video on Facebook and YouTube.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome in to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, brought to you by our sponsors, Buckeye Stoves, of course, our title sponsor, Griffin Insurance, Papa John's of Mount Vernon, as well as Page One Group. With me for the first half of today's show, I have Mount Vernon Bowling. How are you all doing today?
Good.
With me, of course, Nathan Cooper, the coach. We also have Addison. I got to remember what name I wrote down here. Dusenberry. I couldn't make out the Z here. And Griffin Beach. That's a really easy name for me to mess up here. It's great to have you all. And we're going to go through just down the line here. Tell me a little bit about your guys, about yourselves, starting with you, Coach.
So my name's Nathan Cooper.
Can I have you pull that mic a little closer to you if you don't mind?
Yeah, my name's Nathan Cooper. I've been the head varsity coach for 3 years now at Mount Vernon. I helped a few years before that, and just enjoy the sport of bowling, so I wanted to get involved, you know.
Yeah, and I take it by sticking around at Mount Vernon, you've really enjoyed coaching, huh?
I do. Yeah, I enjoy helping out the kids, and we get a lot of enjoyment out of it. We had a great season, so it was a good year for us.
Well, great. We'll come back and talk about your guys' season here in just a moment, but Addison, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a fourth-year varsity. I've enjoyed it a lot, made a lot of great friendships along the way. We've had a great season this year, and can't wait to go to sectionals and hopefully go along to districts.
Wish you guys the best of luck with that, of course. And how about you, Griffin?
I'm Griffin Beach. I'm also a fourth-year bowler. I've really enjoyed my senior year, and like Addison, I would like to keep it rolling at sectionals. So.
All right, well, here's to hoping you guys do well there. Coach, as we, of course, are looking for sectionals in the future here, how did your guys' main season go this year?
We had a really good season, successful for everybody. Both teams finished second in the LCL, which is a big accomplishment for both of them. The girls' team beat the first-place team both 2 times, Zanesville and Granville. Yeah, they beat them both.
Nice.
And then lost to them both, so they ended up second, but it was a great season for the girls, and same with the boys. They had a great season. We lost 3 matches, to Heath, which their team is really good this year. Had a lot of seniors, and then we lost to Utica one time at Utica. So other than that, we had a really great season. A lot of conference honors this year, so it was a good year.
Well, great. I mean, that's really exciting. And you guys are looking for sectionals in the future. What's your goal with that? Are you guys how far are you guys trying to go?
Well, I think both teams can make it out of sectionals for sure. Obviously, it's always the goal to make it to the state tournament. It's tough in our district. It's a very tough district with Columbus, but we got a chance. There's always a chance, right? We can maybe get a couple individuals there even. We just have to bowl well. But both teams, I feel, can make it out of our districts for sure. Or sectionals to make it 2 districts, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Hopefully you guys do well with that. Did you guys have a overall team goal for this season, and have you met it?
We always set the goal first. We want to win the conference, so we didn't accomplish that goal, but we want to make it to districts every year, so we still have that ahead of us. But it was a successful season. Finishing second's great year for us.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to go ahead, talk a little more with you guys, and just some quick questions here. Firstly, what weight of ball do you guys throw?
So I know I throw a 15-pound ball. I can't speak for her, but it's pretty typical for especially a lot of guys to throw 15-pound balls.
I throw a 14, so.
And with those, do you guys have a PR this season or a PR overall you'd like to share?
I think my season high game 266 and series 261.
461.
461. It was a 261.
Yeah,
that's quite a bit better.
Yeah. I think my high for the season was 204, Not quite sure what my high series was though.
Well, nice guys. Congrats. And I actually wanted to ask the coach about something here. We just talked about the weight of the ball that you guys are using. But, Coach, how much does having the right ball impact a good bowler?
So this year, I had a rule. Everybody had to have their own bowling ball. To have a bowling ball that fits your hand correctly, you can be consistent with it, and that's the key in bowling, being able to be consistent. Just grabbing one off the rack is a little difficult to bowl well.
Yeah, and with that, when kids are picking their own ball, were you having them, pick ones that they could hook well in the future? Was there any sort of rhyme or reason to what they had to pick, or was it up to the players to pick whatever they would like?
So I usually, if they ask me, most of them I ask them, hey, ask me if you're ready to buy a bowling ball, let me know, and I'll get you, and I get a list, a big price range. As long as bowling balls have a huge price range, from
They can get up
$100 to
there.
$250 or whatever. So I give them a list, and there's a bunch of different options on there, and they just pick what they like.
Get
And-
what is a good fit for them then, huh?
Yeah, I always want somebody to get something that's going to hook, because obviously you're going to score better when the ball's hooking.
Yeah, it'll raise the player's skill ceiling long run to get a ball that they can hook with.
For
So
sure, yep.
definitely makes sense to invest that up front and then have that pay off, even if it's not for another season while you learn it, you know?
Exactly.
And for you guys, what ball do you guys primarily throw with? And do you keep like a spare ball for picking up spares, something that'll go straight or similar?
Well, I do have a spare ball. It just depends on what the oil pattern is for what I use. Some days I want my strongest ball that's going to hook a lot, and some days I want something that's really weak and that's not going to hook much.
With that, how many do you guys usually bring to a game? Is there a 3-ball limit, or are you guys the type to roll up with 4 triple bags?
I bring 6 balls, so.
So me as well. And the big thing is having an arsenal that you're able to adjust to any type of conditions.
Could you turn that a little if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, having an arsenal that you can adjust with, and I have it's not a spare ball, but a urethane ball that I'm able to shoot straight at with spares.
Nice. It's pretty neat to see you guys bring so many to each game. Coach, if you have each player on your varsity roster bringing 3 to 6 balls, do you guys have a room problem when you get to the lanes?
Sometimes at the lanes, yeah, especially tournaments, right? Because there's a lot of teams and a lot of people bring a lot of bowling balls. But these 2 are the exceptions. I don't think anybody else on the team has 6.
We have 5.
I got another guy that has 5, but I think those are the 3 that have everybody else is 2 or 3 bowling balls pretty much.
But it's pretty important then to have the right ball for pretty much any situation you get yourself stuck into, right?
That's correct. Yeah, you never know where you're bowling. The lanes are different. The oil's different. So you got to be able to adapt. You might bring 6 bowling balls, but a lot of times they only use their spare ball and maybe 1 or 2 other bowling balls.
Just changes depending on what the pattern of the lane's like.
Correct. Yeah.
So for anyone at home who doesn't know at all what that is, who's only ever gone to open bowl or anything like that at a bowling alley, what are oil patterns and how do they affect the game?
Oil's huge. Like a typical house shot, I like to tell the kids, it's like a Christmas tree lane on the lane. If you throw it a little bit to the right, there's more friction out there, so the ball can recover. If you pull it inside, it stays in that oil, and it won't hook. It won't hook as much. Yeah. Then when you get onto sectional stuff, it's a lot flatter pattern, so you got to be a lot more precise with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And with you guys, how do you normally train or get yourself prepared to adapt to how the oil pattern will shift over the course of a game? I know one thing you guys each said you do during a game when you need to is change your ball to fit the situation, but what else do you do to get yourself prepped for that?
So a lot of time during practice, we don't have a fresh shot out on the lanes. So we could be on a pair that has, maybe 40 games already bowled on it, and that would be considered more of a burn, so to speak. So that's like at a tournament, that'll be kind of similar to the games to your last and third game, and throughout the Bakers, that'll be more similar to the oil that's left.
To get myself prepared, I'll try just about anything. I'll try every single bowling ball I've brought just to see what it does. Even if it doesn't work later, I know what it did, so I can scratch that one out. So
Nice. Yeah. Having a bunch of options, again, really opens up what you can use while you're out there.
And it's super key to know what your bowling balls do for you, right? So you can make that educated decision on which one you should go to. I know I help the boys a lot. I do mostly with the boys, so I'm watching their bowling ball every time it's thrown. I'm watching everybody's on our teams, you know, and I can help one person adjust off of somebody else's bowling ball just from watching them enough.
Nice. And, you know, Coach, let's roll with this into your guys' practices. What do those look like?
So, I mean, we usually practice 2 days, or 3 days, 2 hours, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we like to shoot some spare shooting the first game usually, because spares are huge. And then we just kind of bowl some regular games after that. But we got to make our spares. That's key.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, what do you guys do in terms of like really hyper-specific practice? Is it just spare shooting you do? Or, for example, do you do any like doubles or anything? Because if you're throwing doubles, you're going to have to pick up, you know, stuff that you normally wouldn't leave. Yeah,
we usually just do it individually. We just shoot corner pins mostly because that's what you're leaving most of the time. And we just do that and then some regular games. Sometimes we'll pick certain pins. Just depends on the day. But most of the time it's just corner pins that we shoot at.
Got it. Well, all in all, being able to pick up spares is huge and makes a much more versatile bowler.
Yes. The boys team just bowled Zanesville on Saturday. And we had a great game. I've told them I harped. We had four opens that whole game out of all 5 guys.
Wow.
And 2 of them were split, so we only missed 2 makeable spares, and we shot 1,000. So that was a great game for the boys.
That's really great to hear. Good job to you guys.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead, take this first break of the show, come back, continue talking with Mount Vernon Bowling here on WMVO.
You're listening to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, brought to you in part by Griffin Insurance, Buckeye Stoves, Page One Group, and Papa John's.
Time and Temperature is brought to you by
Knox County Veteran Services, located at 105 East Chestnut Street, Mount Vernon. Stop in and see us today.
It's 7:16 and 31 degrees.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back, and that's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-0262 and visit us on Scott Road.
Whether it's your home, farm, auto, business, RV, or boat, Griffin Insurance has you covered. Located at 300 Coshocton Avenue in Mount Vernon, we've been protecting what matters most to Knox County for decades. Call 740-397-7488 today and experience the trusted local service you deserve. Griffin Insurance, coverage you can count on from people you know.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of my car's tank. Ooh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Every single day, thousands of distressed cats are sitting alone in shelter cages, forced to endure the intense fear and loneliness of abandonment as well as the risk of being euthanized. At Golden Paw Society, we are dedicated to the rescue of shelter cats and giving them all they need to be adopted into their forever homes. To find out more about our life-saving mission, go to goldenpawsociety.org. That's goldenpawsociety.org. Sponsored by Golden Paw Society.
WMVO Weather Center forecast.
The temperature 28 degrees and it's cloudy. The wind is from the east at 1 mile per hour. The forecast for this evening, cloudy with light wind, 22 degrees. Overnight, cloud-filled skies with a light breeze. Temperature 24 degrees. And then tomorrow, it will be overcast with some wind with a chance of light drizzle. Temperature 40. That's Storm Track weather on the heart of Knox County, WMVO.
You're listening to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, brought to you in part by Griffin Insurance, Buckeye Stoves, Page One Group, and Papa John's.
We're back here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. With me still, I have Mount Vernon Bowling, including their coach, Nathan Cooper, Addison Dusenberry, the senior, and Griffin Beach, the senior. Great to have you three in here with me still. No one got up and ran off. And, of course, I would like to thank our sponsors for bringing us here. Our title sponsor, Griffin Insurance, as well as Buckeye Stoves, Papa John's of Mount Vernon, and Page One Group. And, you know, it's towards the end of the season. You guys don't have a lot left. And you're both seniors, so let's talk a bit about, we'll start, way back. What got you guys into bowling?
So both of us, it's our families. So, not so much for me. I don't come from a quote unquote bowling family, but my dad bowled, and he had gotten me into junior league, probably when I was 9 years old, and for the past 8 years now, I've bowled almost every single year. So,
I saw some of those pictures your mom put on Facebook. You got a bowling ball when you were a lot younger than 9.
Yeah.
Well, I do come from a bowling family, so definitely that. And I previously played other sports and just decided I didn't want to do that anymore. So I was like, well, let's give bowling a shot, and fell in love with it, basically. So.
Fair. And, what made you guys really love the sport and decide to stick with it, as opposed to anything else you could have done?
So, Nate can attest to it, my decision from last year. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to continue bowling. I'm thankful that I did because, this year I had a fantastic season, winning Bowler of the Year in the conference. And my league average, I think, went up 20 pins.
Yeah, the conference average was 208 this year.
And I think it was 180s last year, so.
Nice.
I was definitely not thinking about much after my freshman year, but I'm glad I did because I get to further my bowling career in college, so I'm really looking forward to that.
With that, I'll go ahead and ask you guys, what are your plans after high school here, and is bowling going to be a part of that?
I plan on furthering my education at MVNU and furthering my bowling career, so I'm really excited about that and hopefully pursuing my teaching license. So
nice.
So next year I'm attending Dartmouth College in New Hampshire. Unfortunately, they don't have a bowling team nor clubs, but I'm going to continue bowling in tournaments, subbing in leagues when I'm back in Mount Vernon. So
fun. My third question for you. For you guys here as players, do you partake in any leagues outside of, when you're playing in school?
So, how the state rules work, we're not allowed to bowl in leagues during the season, and especially the adult leagues that, they bowl for money, and that would ruin your eligibility. But before the season, we both took part in a high school bowling league, and this summer, Nate hosted a few weekly league nights, kind of structured on sport shot. So just working on improving our games.
Yeah, same for me. So
got it. And Nate here, question for you. How does playing outside of, your guys' dedicated practices and your guys' dedicated games, keep a bowler fresh and sharp, especially year round? Should at least you be practicing every few weeks or something throughout the year if you're going to be coming back next year?
Yeah, you should get as much lane time in as you can. Mount Vernon has a youth league that I encourage all our bowlers to get in to get some reps before the season starts, and then usually after the season, early summer. The last 2 or 3 years, I've put on a little little sweepers, and had some sponsors, and they'd give us gift cards, and we'd pass out gift cards every night. It's a lot of fun for the kids, give them a little reward when they come there.
Yeah. And some more questions for you here. How many players do you guys have now? And you may not be able to, give me an exact number, but are you guys looking to see a lot of people want to sign up or try out for the team come next year?
Yeah, we're always looking for more bowlers for sure. This year we had a good number. We had 10 girls, so we had 5 and 5 on varsity and JV, and we had 14 boys, so we had 7 and 7 for JV or for the boys side. So really good numbers this year. Of course, we're losing 3 boys and 1 girl this year, so we need to replace them at a minimum, right? We need more girls. We need some subs on the girls' side.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to see that influx of new players coming in. If you get a new bowler, what does it look like for someone to just come in? Really, the only thing they've got going for them is they can throw it straight consistently. How do you build that person up as a coach?
So, I mean, this year we had numerous bowlers that have never bowled before. When they first got there, when we were doing our open bowling, and then also for tryouts, because you can't help them during open bowling, so you're just there watching them, and then you can't really help until after tryouts. And I mean, it was hard for them to break 50, and they're consistently over 100 now. So they really improved this year. Our assistant coaches did a great job. Coach Dice it's her first year helping out, and she did a tremendous job with the girls. And then Coach Darnell, he helped with the JV boys, and he keeps them in a straight line.
Nice. And with those open bowls and tryouts, how many people do you guys have come to an open bowl or a tryout usually?
So, I mean, the people that made the team, we didn't cut anybody, so that's what we had. Our numbers were. We had a couple of people that came to open bowling, but they'd never made it to anything else. So we didn't cut anybody, but that was our numbers.
Losing interest.
Right.
Well, good thing they lost it then as opposed to after getting on the team.
Yeah.
Walk everyone who, hasn't been to a high school game before. What do you guys do at your matches?
So we bowl 2 regular games. There's 5 people per lineup. So it's 5 on 5. They each bowl 2 full games, and then we bowl 2 Baker games. And the Baker games where you have 5 people, and they each bowl 2 frames. So the 1st and 6th frame, 2nd and 7th frame, and so forth.
And then to determine a winner, is it just all the pins added together at the end?
Yep, yeah. You add all the pins together, and high pin count is the winner. We had a couple close ones this year. The boys won 1 by 4, lost 1 by 5, so that's where every spare matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even following up a spare would make the difference in a close game like that. So
for sure, yeah, pin count for sure.
That's really close for you guys. And for you guys here, we do have a little bit more time to talk some more. We'll get into a bit of specific stuff. Walk everyone at home through what you actually think when you get up there. You pick up your ball, and how's it go from you grabbing the ball to the ball hitting the pins?
For me, it's a lot of reminding myself, keeping my shoulders straight, keeping my elbow in, trying my best to walk straight. And just hitting my mark. If you hit your mark, you're bound to hit the pocket. So.
And for me, I don't have to think about a lot form-wise. Usually, I have one thought in my head regarding form. I try to keep it simple, and also just really zoning in on my mark. It's the same thing. You have to be on your mark or pretty darn close to be able to hit it and throw a pretty good shot.
Mm-hmm. Out of curiosity, you two, how many steps do you take on your walk up? And with that, which foot do you start on?
So I'm a 4-step bowler, so my first step's always going to be with my right because as a right-handed bowler, I slide on the left, and
Got it.
I also take 4 steps, so I start with my right.
Yep.
Now, Coach, why are consistent walk-ups important for a bowler?
That's so key to do everything the same from your pre-shot routine to where you get set with the ball to your approach. Everything, if it's the same, then you'll be in a good rhythm and you'll be able to do the same thing every time. When you come around the ball one time and you stay behind it the next, then we got issue. You can't tell what your ball's going to do. So, Griff's a great testament to the practice thing, though. I mean, I don't think there was a person in Knox County that was at the bowling center more than him this year, and it paid off by getting Bowler of the Year this year in our conference. So,
yeah,
practice is huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely great. And one more thing here, for anyone who doesn't know, what is a bowler's mark?
So there's 39 boards across the lane, right? So it can be different for everybody. I mean, a lot of people use the arrows. There's arrows out there. But when you move up in levels, I'm sure both of these bowlers pick a board out there. They don't just look at an arrow or, an arrow sometimes works for them, I'm sure. But sometimes you got to move it in a little bit or out. So just any specific little dot out there that you can find, to be honest, is a mark, can be your mark.
But in simpler terms, that's just what they're shooting for consistently, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's what the aim point is. Yeah, the closest, it's a lot easier to hit something close to you. If you're looking at the pins, they're 60 feet away. If you're looking at something close, it's a lot easier to throw something in a little trash can next to you than down the hall. So that's kind of how I reference it to all them.
Got it. They need to hit consistently. Their mark up close. That way the ball will be in the right spot once it's actually 60 feet down.
Correct.
All right. Well, I wish you guys luck when you actually go to sectionals here. So good luck to you guys. And a huge thank you to Mount Vernon Bowling for joining us here on the show. We're going to take this break, come back, and talk some more here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show on WMVO after I fix what I've broken here by accident. So I've got to just grab this here for us all and throw that back in there so that we can actually listen to our break awkwardly. There we are. All right, we will be back after this here on WMVO.
You're listening to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, brought to you in part by Griffin Insurance, Buckeye Stoves, Page One Group, and Papa John's.
This is Lorraine from Buckeye Stoves. It's not too late to purchase a pellet stove and get a free ton of pellets for the winter season. Harmon offers top-of-the-line pellet stoves like the infamous P68. Also, if you have a chimney and need a suite, we do that too. We use nothing but the best with Copperfield products like Home Saver, Rovac, and Duravent to allow your chimney to remain safe, clean, and durable. Stop by our showroom, Buckeye Stoves, on State Route 95 in Fredericktown. Visit us on the web at buckeyestoves.com. Buckeye Stoves, the cozy way to save.
When you're craving better ingredients and better pizza, Papa John's on Coshocton Avenue delivers. Locally owned by Bill Spitzer, Papa John's is feeding Mount Vernon fresh hot pizza, wings, and those irresistible garlic butter breadsticks. Order tonight from 855 Coshocton Avenue or call 740-397-6644. Carry out, delivery, or order ahead online. Papa John's, locally owned, big flavor, right here in Mount Vernon. 740-397-6644. That's Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back, and that's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-0262 and visit us on Scott Road.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
You guys just didn't want it bad enough. That should have been an easy win. What were you doing out there? You gotta hustle. You could have made that play if you'd been open.
On the car ride home after the game,
when you think you're helping by telling me what I did wrong and what I need to work on, all I hear is that I'm not good enough, that I'm supposed to be perfect, that it's not okay to lose. On the car ride home, all I need to hear is how much you love me and enjoy watching me play. That my worth isn't determined by my performance. That even on my worst day, I am worthy. That you see me learning, growing, and doing my best. And that is enough.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Smokey the Bear. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
Don't play with matches. Don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Brought to you in part by Griffin Insurance, Buckeye Stoves, Page One Group, and Papa John's.
We are back in here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show here on WMVO, brought to you, of course, by our title sponsor, Griffin Insurance, as well as Buckeye Stoves, Papa John's of Mount Vernon, and Page One Group. And with me now, I've got Centerburg Wrestling. A few great guests in here. Firstly, we've got Coach Tanner Hott. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. It is great to have you in here. And how long have you been coach here at Centerburg?
So I coached the middle school for the past 2 years, and then this year I stepped up to varsity. So it's my first year coaching varsity.
And have you enjoyed it so far?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yep.
Well, that's good to hear. And I assume you enjoyed being a coach after doing it for 2 years. You wanted to step up and take the position, so.
Yes, sir.
With me, I've got a few wrestlers. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves for the audience here?
You started. I'm Cole Evans. I'm a senior, but it's my second year, so it hasn't been as long, but, the passion's still there.
Got it, and
I'm Corey Clymer. I'm a junior, and I've been wrestling since kindergarten.
Wow.
So it has been a big part of my life.
I'm Joe Bell, freshman. I've been wrestling since 6th grade.
So we've got a senior who's fairly new to the sport, and then two people who've been wrestling for quite a long time here. So that's quite a range of people you brought to me, Coach.
Yes, sir.
How broad a range of kids are you working with? We've already seen kids at the end of their high school career who are new to wrestling itself, and then kids who have been doing it forever who are pretty new to their high school career. What range of kids do you normally see go through your program?
So with Centerburg, we get a few kids that wrestled from all the way to kindergarten up. A lot of our kids start in middle school, or they start in 6th grade, like Joe. But this year we have a lot of first year guys, whether they're freshmen. We have a pretty big sophomore and junior class, and a lot of them are still newer wrestlers. We have 3 guys on the team that's wrestled probably more than 5 or 6 years. So we're a pretty new team.
Yeah, and we don't have wrestling on the show very often, so let's start a little broader with what does the wrestling season look like?
Wrestling season, it starts 2nd week of November, and usually it ends, you hope it ends 3rd week of March. That's state tournament. It can be a long season. You start out, you practice for probably about 2 weeks, and then you have your first tournament. Sometimes you scrimmage beforehand, but once first tournament happens, it's just chaos until state or sectionals. But we're coming up on our conference tournament, which is next Saturday, and then we'll go into sectionals February 28th. So,
what does that chaos look like? Break it down a little more.
Managing weights, keeping everybody's skin clean. Ringworm's a big thing that happens during wrestling season. So managing weights, getting people in weight classes, having wrestle-offs, making sure we have the right starters where they need to be, keeping kids accountable throughout the season, getting them to practice. So,
And, weight classes, that's, of course, something that'll affect you for the whole season and something you need to be mindful of year-round. Why are those important for the sport of wrestling? And then a little deeper, is it better to be the top of your weight class or the bottom of your weight class?
So wrestling weight classes are very important. You don't want a 100-pound kid wrestling a 285-pound kid. So, yeah, I mean, our heavyweight's 225, wrestling 285. You got some kids who cut from 300 down to 285.
Wow.
So being at the top of your weight class can definitely help. You have kids that cut from 75 to 150, so you're cutting 25 pounds. We don't always recommend it. We like to wrestle our weight usually. If you lose 5 pounds, it's better. But being closer to the top of your weight class is usually more of an advantage.
Makes sense. You've got the weight backing you in your weight class to help you take down your opponents here. And we'll go ahead and talk to the actual wrestlers here. What weight class are you guys in?
I'm in 215.
I'm in 126.
150.
All right. And so are you two in the same weight class overall then, or no?
No, we're different weight classes.
Okay. I honestly don't know. I'm not that familiar with wrestling, so correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. Have any of you guys, especially, you guys, as you change throughout playing so much, gone up or down a weight class, and how did that affect how you play?
Yeah, so when going into ninth grade year, I was really small. I was barely making 106. So I had to put on a bunch of weight so I could be eligible for the weight class. And then over the course of my years wrestling in high school, I bumped up to 126, just naturally.
Got it. And Joe, did you have anything to add to that?
I mean, I wrestled 144 at the beginning of the season, and I bumped up to 150. I just wanted to be able to eat again, but that's always nice. But yeah, not too much of a weight gain.
And Cole here with you only having wrestled for 2 years. I assume you've pretty much been wrestling your weight for both of them.
Well, I came into the season out of football weighing right under 240, and I weighed out at 207 today, so it can be changes.
Yeah, you've had quite the cut throughout this season, huh?
Yes, sir.
Wow. With that, Coach, when you see these, big shifts for your wrestlers here, and of course you want them wrestling their weight, but sometimes do you see that benefit translate onto the mat?
Absolutely. We preach hydration and healthy habits, healthy diet after every practice and throughout the whole season. So like Cole saying he walked in at 240 for football. I mean, bulking up to play O-line, you want to be bigger, you got to move mass. So he walked in the wrestling season. I was like, you might want to consider cutting because he's going to have to wrestle 285 as a 240. And so he ended up just taking it upon himself, healthy habits, and he got all the way down, like he said, 207 today. So he's wrestling 215. We have Angelo Pizzuti. He walked in the room at 210 this year, and he's cutting down to 175 right now. Today he made 178, so he'll be right on track for this coming weekend. So healthy habits is what we preach, and I think losing weight healthily is definitely a good thing about wrestling.
Yeah, and when do you guys have to make your weigh-ins before the state tournament and such?
So the season starts and you get an alpha assessment, which measures your body fat percentage and your hydration levels, and it gives you a borderline base of basically what weight you can wrestle throughout the year and how much you can lose each week. And so with Corey being 126, he alphaed at 120, but he wasn't able to make it this year, so he's going 126, which forfeits him for 120 and keeps him at 126 the rest of the season. So they usually give you about 2 pounds a week you can lose, but it starts with alphas, and they give you kind of like a borderline weight that you can be each week, and you slowly can progress down to there.
Got it. Stops kids from losing too much weight too quickly.
Fast, yes.
That makes sense. And before we have to take our first break of this half, walk everyone through, what goes on at your guys' practices.
We start out, we always play a game. We used to just jog and throw the volleyball at each other. That was like our game. But now, we play mat ball or we play ball tag, and that's how we warm up. We play that until you get a good sweat going, And then we tumble. We do basically just gymnastics, like forward rolls, cartwheels, round-offs, handsprings. And then we get into, we do wall drills and stance and motion. And then we get into drills and then live.
And so all of this I've kept up with until you said live. What happens during that part of practice?
Live is just live action. You're wrestling live matches. It's 100% go, and you're working through positions, and you're trying to get in wrestling shape. So,
got it. And how much space do you guys have to practice?
We got 2 30 by 30 mats upstairs behind the bleachers.
So with that, how many live matches are you able to have going at once?
Probably about 10 to 13. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a little crammed, but we make it work.
And is that most everyone in the program able to go?
Yep, middle school and high school. And then
wow.
Youth will come up after us.
Well, perfect. All right, well, we're going to go ahead, take our first break at the half, come back, continue talking with Centerburg Wrestling here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show here on WMVO.
You're listening to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, brought to you in part by Griffin Insurance, Buckeye Stoves, Page One Group, and Papa John's.
Time and Temperature is brought to you by
Knox County Veteran Services, located at 105 East Chestnut Street, Mount Vernon. Stop in and see us today.
It's 7:45 and 29 degrees.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back, and that's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-0262 and visit us on Scott Road.
Whether it's your home, farm, auto, business, RV, or boat, Griffin Insurance has you covered. Located at 300 Coshocton Avenue in Mount Vernon, we've been protecting what matters most to Knox County for decades. Call 740-397-7488 today and experience the trusted local service you deserve. Griffin Insurance, coverage you can count on from people you know.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of my car's tank. Ooh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
To every referee, umpire, and judge in high school sports, we want to say, we see you.
We see everything you do for us that goes unnoticed.
We see the positive role models that you are.
We see the way you get unfairly criticized just for doing your job.
The truth is, we couldn't play without you.
So thank you for investing your time in us.
Thank you for protecting the integrity of the game, no matter what.
We hope you always know how much we appreciate you.
Because without you, this is just recess. It's not really a game.
Thank you for always making it possible for us to play the sports we love.
Want to serve the students in your community? Sign up to become an official in Ohio at highschoolofficials.com.
WMVO Weather Center forecast.
The temperature 28 degrees and it's cloudy. The wind is from the east at 1 mile per hour. The forecast for this evening, cloudy with light wind, 22 degrees. Overnight, cloud-filled skies with a light breeze. Temperature 24 degrees. And then tomorrow, it will be overcast with some wind with a chance of
You're
light drizzle.
listening to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, brought to you in part by Griffin Insurance, Buckeye Stoves, Page One Group, and Papa John's.
We are back here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show on WMVO, brought to you by our title sponsor, Griffin Insurance, as well as Buckeye Stoves, Papa John's of Mount Vernon, and Page One Group here. And, Coach, I wanted to follow up with you. We talked about what goes into your practices, but take us through a tournament here.
Tournament usually starts out, well, you get on the bus at like 5:30 in the morning, it seems like. You get to the tournament, you check in at the head table, make sure your roster is correct on the sheet, make sure everybody's in the weight classes they need to be in. They go through skin checks to make sure they have no fungus on their body, and then we weigh in. If you miss weight, usually you don't get bumped up. You're not wrestling that day.
Oh, wow.
So you got to make sure you make weight, and then once you make weight, you get about an hour to recover, hydrate, eat some food. We warm up about 30 minutes prior, and then we're on the mats all day.
And walk us through then, what's a match like for these kids?
Well, usually you start warming up about 15 minutes before your match. You get a nice, good warm-up in again. You're bouncing around, getting your mind right. Usually you have headphones or earbuds in, or you're just trying to get in the zone, getting ready to go out there. You check in at the table, match beforehand. Usually they give you a red or green anklet before you go out. You go out there, you shake your opponent's hand, and then it's controlled chaos for 6 minutes.
All right. And do you normally see your wrestlers win by points at the end of it or by getting a pin?
It can go either way. This year, I think we've seen quite a few pins from our guys. A lot of big moves. So
exciting. Well, I'm going to go around, ask you guys just a few things. I'll start with you here, Cole. Firstly, what do you do to get in, the right headspace for a match?
For me, I actually made my own playlist. That way, to carry on from football, I like to have a routine, so nothing's changing. I go and I use the same playlist, same songs. Usually, I do my little hop around and get warmed up. It doesn't take much for me to sweat. So,
got it. And then once you're actually on the mat, any go-tos? Do you normally win by just being more technical than your opponent, or are you the type of guy to go for a big move and a pin?
I would like to go for the big move. I like that, but I do a lot of just winning by points.
Hey, a win is still a win. We're going to swing over here. Corey, what do you do to get yourself in the right headspace?
So basically just like him, I listen to my music, right? And then every, before match, I have, the same ritual. Take off my shirt and then just, don't talk to no one, right? And then when I'm on the mat, I do, this thing with my feet every time, before I'm about to wrestle. And it's a switch, a skill time. So it's a flipping the switch from nice and all that to like you said, controlled chaos.
Mm.
Yeah.
And same second question here. Do you normally win by pin or by being more technical than your opponent?
I would say more technical, but when I wrestle, it's like a fight. It's I'm doing everything it's a fight. Based off that question, more technical for sure.
Got it. And then Joe here, same two questions for you.
Getting ready for a match, usually I'll just have a sweatshirt on, I'll get a sweat going, and just listen to some music from, of course, the movie Rocky. Just got to get in the right headspace, just do some bouncing, get a sweat going, take my sweatshirt off, go out there. And usually, as soon as I get out on the mat, I just black out. I don't remember anything. And I'm working on that, but if I'm in a good mood. I'll like good mindset. I'll go out there. I'll tie up, get out of it, tie up, and then I'll go for either a high crotch or a sweep single and just go from there.
All right, and then music seems to be a really big part of how everyone gets in the right headspace here. You know, Corey, we were talking during break. I promised I would give you a chance to plug your music.
Yes.
Is that what gets you going, your own music, or do you listen to other people's?
Mostly other people, but like here and there, I'll listen to my own music.
Did you want a chance to plug?
Yeah. Corey the Future on Spotify and every platform.
All right. Well, you got to support young artists
Of
out
course.
there.
Yes.
And, Coach, what are you looking for when your wrestlers are out on the mat? What are you looking to see them do each time?
We're always looking for them to push the pace, wrestle every second of the match. 6 minutes, believe it or not, it's a long time to constantly be moving. We always just look that they give their best efforts. The only thing you can really control out there is your effort. So we look for them to go 100% all the time, push the pace, and just try their best.
Got it. And with it being a tournament, if the kid wins, are they going back up in how much time to wrestle again?
It really depends on where you're at, who's running the tournament, if it's on paper, if it's online, it all depends. Usually if you drop a match, you lose one, you're going to be up a lot sooner than if you were to win one. Because they're going to wrestle the constellations, they'll wrestle like 2 to 3 rounds before your semifinals or quarter matches. So if you're winning a lot of matches each tournament, you're going to have, if you're in the semifinals or finals, you'll have 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes way, way longer than that.
And, if you're pushing the pace for all 6 minutes and you are really going, if you're back up that soon, do you tend to see some fall off from your kids in the second to third rounds?
Maybe third going on fourth rounds, maybe. Getting towards the placing matches is usually when you see kids starting to drag a little bit. But after the first round, if you get a quick second round match, usually they're locked in, ready to go still. So,
well, that's great at least, and that's what all that conditioning you guys do is there to keep them ready for. Cool. I have a question for you here. As you're a senior here, do you got any plans for after high school, and do they involve wrestling?
Oh, yeah. After high school, I think I'm going to have to leave the wrestling in high school. But I'm going to go do firefighting, hopefully, and all that stuff.
Nice. Coach here, let's talk about recruitment. How many kids do you see coming up from younger grades into the high school program?
Centerburg's not usually too notorious for having good numbers on our wrestling team. Lately, though, we've seen quite a boost in numbers. We have 5 coming in to the high school level next year. Not too many coming into the middle school. We have 3 kids coming up to the middle school next year. But our youth program broke like 57 kids this year. So hopefully in the next 4 or 5 years, we get some big classes coming through.
Oh, great. And you 3 are also welcome to jump in on this question. Really, whoever's got it. Wrestling is when you're actually out and on the mats. It's you versus your opponent. There's no one else really in the world other than you two. But still, it is a team sport, and you're with all these other guys who are supporting you. What's that like? How do you guys stay together as a team despite never being on the mats out there together?
Yeah, so it's like having the right people around you before a match and after match. It's like before the match, like giving you whatever you need, space, talk, prep talk. And like after the match, if you lose, right, they can't like taunt you. So they got to help you just like through everything because they're going to go through it too. So it's not just like, Yeah.
Yeah, and, if you end up losing your first match, you've got a whole team behind you to help you bounce back for that second one.
Yeah.
Anyone else have anything to add about, your guys' camaraderie here as teammates?
I guess I'll add something. I say being a freshman, I got a lot of upperclassmen to look up to, and Corey and his buddy Braxton. I mean, after a match, if they see it, they'll let me know. They'll be like, "Hey, you did this wrong. You got to work on this." My coach will let me know, and next week at practice, I'll focus on that, and I'll just every day we improve.
Yeah, nice. What got you 3 into wrestling? We'll probably start over here with Cole.
Me, it was mainly for football to begin with. My sophomore year, I wanted to be better at football, so I did wrestling. I heard it made you better. But, now I just like wrestling to wrestle.
Got it.
So we're going to take a trip back. So when I was younger, right, I was like a chaotic kid. I was always getting into trouble fighting. And so my mom's like, let's join wrestling. And my dad was like, no. So then my dad has been with me this whole journey for me. And right now he's like my biggest supporter. And now it's just like a part of me. I've done it my whole life and I enjoy it.
Nice.
For me, I was in 6th grade. I was friends with this kid named Noah, and he was going to wrestle. And he was like, hey, you should do it. I was like, all right. So I started wrestling because of him. He didn't end up playing, and my parents are like, you commit to it, you're following through. So I was stuck with wrestling. Turns out I really liked it and had a good season, and now I'm here.
And with that, do you have a favorite part?
I'd say the culture.
Culture?
There's definitely a culture to wrestling. There's just like maintaining your weight, eating healthy, just hanging out with your opponents. It's just comes to kind of a point where you're just like not going to practice because like you have to. You're just like, man, these are my people, these are my family. Like you somewhat become reliant on it.
Yeah, and we'll go back down the line here with that. Corey, do you have a favorite part of wrestling?
I'm going to say culture, but like just all being together. It's like we're all doing this together. So it's like we're a team.
Yeah. And for you, Cole?
I think I'd probably have to go with culture. It's just a great place to be. You know, you're only getting better. There's really no way to get worse in wrestling.
Well, Coach, you've got to be doing something right if you have 3 kids who say that the culture of wrestling is their favorite part about it.
They love it. They show up. They work hard. They embrace the grind together. So.
Well, great. That's all the time we have. Huge thank you to Centerbrook Wrestling for joining us here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, and good luck to you guys at States here coming up. I hope you all do well. And a huge thank you to our sponsors, our title sponsor, Griffin Insurance, as well as Buckeye Stoves, Papa John's of Mount Vernon, and Page One Group. That's all we've got for you this week here on WMVO.
100.9 FM and 93.7 HD2 WQIO Mount Vernon. From the Cosmic